This channel is supported by my online fishing courses at saltstrong.com/Skinner, as well as my books, including my latest book, Fishing the Edge, Techniques and Tales from Surf, Boat, and Kayak. Hey, the books make great Father's Day gifts. You can learn more at johnskinnerfishing.com and on Amazon. Okay, nice conditions to start and everything looking smooth. Well, it's not going to stay that way, but oh boy, going to catch a lot of fish here. Going to head east, going to go hit the striper rips first. Then I'm going to back off and go for weakfish. So, yeah, this is going to be a really good one. And I'll have links to all of the gear in the video description. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Okay, so I've got about a 9-mile ride east. But, you know, starting off in a sheltered bay, and as I work, it's starting to get a little choppier. And then what's going to happen as I get far enough east, I'll start picking up a little bit of an ocean swell. Like if you look, you know, straight out off to my right there, maybe at 1 o'clock or it's 1:30 or so. You know, that's basically open ocean out there. So yeah, that's where I'm starting to pick up some other waves in here. But yeah, I'm almost to my destination, which is Plum Gut. And that's no secret. That's not a secret spot. It's a well-known fishing area. So I'm going to be joining the little fleet that's in there. And the nice thing is it's beautiful in here. I mean, look at that. And that's because that island, which is Plum Island, is sheltering the wind and everything. However, you know, where I'm fishing, Plum Gut is, you know, it can be very treacherous waters. But, you know, I pick my days. This boat, this 16-footer, it's actually a Grumman 5-meter boat, 16 feet, 4 inches. It's deep, it's wide. It does very well here. I'm almost always the smallest boat in the gut, but I'm very comfortable with it. So you know what, I'm going to stay up on this higher camera angle to start, and yeah, I'm just motoring into the position now, looking at my fish finder, trying to line up on some marks that I have, and start the drift. Now, I'll be, you know, you'll be able to see everything I'm doing. I've got the other camera on my head. We'll switch to that one. Simple rigging, 30-pound braid to about 3 feet of 50-pound test fluorocarbon per leader, tied direct to a 6-ounce bucktail with a 5-inch fat cow jig strip on there. And you know, I'll explain the fishing as we go along. Okay, this is an area of fast tide rips. The current's just starting to go. It's about 2 miles an hour. It will go up to about 4 miles an hour, dropping down about 95 feet here, but then it's going to go up a slope pretty quickly and then end up in about 50 feet, 45 feet or so forth. The idea, drop that thing to the bottom, take a few cranks up, just try and follow the bottom contour. This is, normally I'd be doing this using a 3-way rig where you've got a heavy sinker, 8 or 10 ounces, to keep down a lighter bucktail of maybe 1.5 ounces or so. But, yeah, my friend Todd Mann actually started putting just a 6-ounce bucktail down instead of the 3-way, and that's been working great. So I'm happy to do that. It's less rigging, less weight, and you just drop it down, try to follow the contour. You see him, I feel bottom, taking a couple cranks. I'm looking at the fish finder. I'm going up a slope. I feel those bottom taps. I pick up a couple cranks. If I think I've gone deeper, I might let out a little line and just wait for those sharp taps. Now these are short drifts. I typically don't try to get a second fish on a drift. Once in a while I'll do that. But usually, you know what, get a fish, go back up. Get a fish, go back up. On the back end of this area is a nasty rip, so try to avoid that. And I'll show the run back up current just to give you an idea how far I'm going. And keep in mind, this is just the beginning of the tide, so it's not really moving too fast. And you know, you'll end up with, sometimes you can have a couple dozen boats in here. There's only a few boats right now, but this is the typical way this place is fished. You know, people are going to go up there, start their drift. Other boats will be running up as I am right now, you know, going through to get up to the top of the drift. And that's just the way this place works. Typically, the people who fish here in general, they're experienced. They know what they're doing. Everybody's courteous. I mean, it's generally a really great place to fish. Everybody just has to watch out for the conditions. And in my case, with the smaller boat, you know, I got to watch for boat waves and things, and we'll see that. So very important for just about any kind of drift fishing, especially if you have a heavier boat. Stop the boat at the top of the drift. You can see I'm going to put that thing in reverse and stop it. And then you may have also noticed I turn my wheel basically into the drift. I mean, even though there's only a slight breeze, you know, that just angles your motor in such a way that you generally can drift broadside if you've got a breeze. So yeah, it's important stuff. So hey, those clothes I'm wearing, the Bimini Bay top and the slickers, and you see me wear those in Florida too. I wear these all the time. They've got a really great deal right now. You can get the tops and the bottoms for $100. So yeah, there's a link to that in the video description. I'm just dropping down to the bottom. There's my first crank. As soon as you hit bottom, you got to pick up, because if you drag bottom, you're going to lose your rig. So the reel is a Maxell Hybrid 25, and that reel's got an interesting feature for this type of a reel, is it's got a thumb bar on it. So if you look at my thumb, what I'm doing is, if I want to drop line, I push the thumb bar down. Now, it doesn't have a flipping switch where it's going to pop up automatically like on a Quantum Accuracy, but you can just take your thumb, get it underneath the bar, and click it back. So that's how I control the clutch on this reel. And for this kind of fishing, it's awesome, because, you know, sometimes if I'm getting a little, right there, get a little deeper, I push the bar, bang it back up, and it helps me with the depth control. All right, 3 bass in the first 2 drifts. That's a great start. I crushed the barbs. You'll see the bucktail's going to come out real easily. All right, I just dropped down at the beginning of the drift. So I mentioned having you keep your eyes out for boat waves, and what, you know, on to my right, you've got ferries that run to Connecticut, and to my left, you've got Plum Island. So there's a ferry that runs out of there. One of them goes to Connecticut. One goes over to Long Island. And so I got to keep an eye out for those wakes. Actually, the Connecticut ferry usually isn't the problem, even though it's a giant boat. But here we've got waves coming from both directions. So, but still, I'm not really bringing anything over the back. I actually tend to take in more water at the Peconic Bay rip of Jessup's. But yeah, it's just something to watch out for. I know somebody who sunk a boat in here from a boat wave, so you got to pay attention. When I look over at the fish finder in a second, yeah, boy, that was a sharp hit. You'll notice on the left-hand side of the screen the slope of the bottom coming up, and then I've had a hit there, but I'll also hit bottom taps, and I have to pick up a couple cranks to not get hung up. So this rod, it's the same rod that I use for fluke out in the ocean, the dark matter, Skinner jig and bounce, the heavier one. It makes a great bass rod, but the difference is I use different reels for the different applications. When I'm here, I use that Maxell, spooled with 30. When I'm fluking, I use the Quantum Accurus, spooled with 15. All right, you see some texture on the water. The breeze is starting to pick up. I actually just went 2 drifts with no hits. Those are the only 2 drifts where I didn't at least hook a fish on this trip. there's a good one. Oh, getting lucky. All right, this is it. One more, and then I'm going to go look for something else to do. Something else to catch. Watch, I won't get one this drift. I've had one so many drifts in a row. Stop in a good spot. This is the last one. And this video is not giving a good sense of how good this fishing is. I fished less than 2 hours. This is bass number 21. I've only shown half the bass that I've caught. Yeah, it was every drift except there were 2 drifts, consecutive drifts actually, that I didn't get hit on. Come on, shoot ball. Look. Good way to break a rod. Okay, on my way back out of the shelter of Plum Island now, though, and I mean, I knew I was going to be hitting some stuff here. It's not bad. I'm actually doing 20 miles an hour, so that's pretty good. So on the horizon there, I see a boat coming towards me, and it's actually Captain John Halkias with his new boat. I've never seen the boat before. He's done like 1,000 videos on it. It's a custom of some sort, but we'll get to see it. So I actually stopped in that slop and pulled out my other camera so I could get him on video and get his boat on video. It's a 24-foot cat. I should know the name of it. It's an east winds or an eastward or something like that. We'll be able to see when we get alongside. Yeah, we're not going to have a conversation here because I just wanted to, get the camera out so that he could see what his boat looks like as well. And actually, though, we're going to catch up with him in a bit. But yeah, so there it is. This is his first ride out with it. And I'm heading to a spot that's 14 miles from where I was fishing. I'm going to try for weakfish. And yeah, here's John at that spot. I texted you.
This guy said, this guy died. What were you doing out there?
I texted you.
I saw it after I got, as I was pulling out of Manhasset, I checked my phone.
Sorry.
It was rough.
Yeah.
It was rougher than the day we were out.
Yes, definitely, yeah.
Oh my God. Any weakfish?
I really haven't started. I just, you know, I just dropped a little, but if I really want to do anything, I got to put the trolling motor down.
What do you think of the boat? It's ugly, I know. It's a brick.
It's a barge.
Hey,
How is it?
Skinner,
Yeah.
shot.
That's great. That's great. Okay, trolling motor's down. Just note left-hand side of the screen. See the marks near the bottom? That's what I'm keying on. Hopefully those are weakfish. All right, so that conversation with John. So he's faster than me in those conditions, obviously, and he got back up in the safe part of the bay. And I had my Romulan cloaking device on, so somehow I got past him without him seeing. And he waited for me, and I never appeared, so he went back out looking for me and couldn't find me. So that's what he said. He goes, "He's dead. He died." You know, he really was worried. But as soon as I had gotten into the bay, I texted him and said, "I'm safely inside the bay," but he didn't check his text. So that's what that was about.
Oh, it was definitely a hit.
Oh, there's desperation there. I'm actually taking a GPS mark on a couple of hits. Okay, so I'm basically using that trolling motor as a high-tech drift sock here. I'm just putting it into the wind to cut down the wind component of the drift. Else I'm going to sail through here over 2 miles an hour and need a lot of weight to stay down.
Okay, here we go. First weakfish of the season? I think it is. I think it is. Come on. I think that's the right thing, and it is. I don't care how small you are. Here we go. Weeky one. Weeky one. Yes. Mossy mullet.
Right, at the bottom I have an 827 diamond jig. A foot above that I have a Salt Strong John Skinner Mossy Mullet on a 3.0 Gamakatsu bait holder hook, just on a dropper loop. That diamond jig is a glow jig, because I did a test here a couple of years ago, and chrome was by far the worst color. Glow was the best. Black was a close second. Even though it's only 50 feet of water here, my underwater camera showed no light whatsoever. It's dark at the bottom here.
All right. I'm not exactly tide runners, but okay.
So I'm just staring at that fish finder. You know, I'm not marking a lot. However, when I'm marking even a little bit, that's when I'm getting hits. So whatever's there seems happy to hit.
Well, they are little guys, aren't they? Good to see you. Here we go. I don't know why this is so exciting after catching all those stripers, but it is. Something about them. Oh, boy, are they small. I hit a couple times there. Maybe slightly better. All right, slightly better. Not too much better. Maybe a close to, yeah, maybe a keeper. Alright, so 17.5 inches.
Okay, I didn't stay long after that. That was my last and largest, 17.5 inches. Legal limit's 16. Not that I ever keep them, but I'm going to wrap up this video with a drop on my next Weakfish trip, which will actually be a video that I'll post in a couple of days. But yeah, the fishing definitely picked up from what I just showed, and definitely some better fish mixed in. So, all right, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Check out my online courses at saltstrong.com/Skinner. And don't forget my books, and they make great Father's Day gifts. And you can learn more at johnskinnerfishing.com and on Amazon. All right, enjoy this look ahead to the next video and some somewhat larger weakfish.